Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at BellisioFoods.com/careers.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
Well, happy morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show right here on Main Street TV, where we are here with a very, very special friend and guest. Our good buddy Nick Rupert has stopped by, and we are going to talk about the Vinton County Air Show.
You bet you, and thank you very much for having us here today.
Oh, we love having you here.
And it's always great to come down and talk to the good folks of Jackson County and southeastern Ohio about the Vinton County Air Show coming up this Sunday at 1 o'clock.
It is always just such a major event that we have right here in our area, and you all do such a wonderful job with it.
Breaking news. That guy you were talking about yesterday got captured.
Oh, they found him?
Oh, good.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Breaking news, the dude that was running around Pennsylvania that we were talking about yesterday has been captured. So there you go.
That's a good thing.
Yes, because he was pretty elusive.
Yeah. I mean, 2 weeks he's been out running around.
I think it was 13, 14 days. So anyway, that's good news. But back to the air show, that's even better news.
That's better news. That's fun news.
It is happening this year.
Yes. We had our doubts going into it because we didn't have the help that we needed to put it on. And so we started asking for volunteers. The Vinton County High School football team has been volunteered.
Thank you, guys.
And we want to thank them for coming out. And they're going to help park cars and do security during the air show. And Travis West.
Hopefully they don't tackle anyone.
No, they won't Travis anyone.
Okay.
And we're going to have help. Travis West, our county extension agent, has routed up some 4-Hers and 4-H parents, and they're going to help out in the kitchen serving the chicken dinners. And, of course, our big volunteers that have been there since day one, and that's the MacArthur Area Eagle Club. And the Eagles have cooked the chicken. This will be their 52nd time cooking chicken at the air show.
Well, they ought to be pretty good at it by now,
Yes. And Andy Adelman helped cook the very first chicken dinner, and he is on his 52nd
oh my goodness
annual chicken dinner cooking. He's our pit master.
Aha.
And he will be up there. Of course, it's a family affair for him. His son and daughters will be there to help out. So it's a family affair as well as this year it's a volunteer affair. And we've had several people that have contacted us because we've asked for volunteers to come up and help us out with the air show. So our volunteer issue kind of melted away.
That's wonderful.
We have enough help to put on a good air show and comply with all the safety regulations that the FAA requires us to have these days. So it's going to be a fun show.
And it is just every year. So many people come for different reasons, some just for the chicken, some for the air show. Let's talk for a minute. You mentioned the FAA. I was just sitting here wondering, how has it changed over the years of their requirements? I'm sure, like every other government entity, it's gotten more complicated.
Yeah, it has gotten a little bit more complicated. I put my first air show on in 1992. 2 pieces of paper.
I can guarantee you it's not 2 pieces of paper today.
It's a 3-ring binder full of paper. And, there is all kinds of things that one has to do and to comply with. And I'm not knocking the FAA because a lot of the big air shows, they've had some major disasters.
Sure.
And
it's about safety. Let's just be honest.
About safety.
Everybody needs to stay safe.
And my hat is off to the FAA because they want to keep the crowd and all the spectators safe. So these requirements that they have put forth are to protect the public, which, we'll comply with. But there is more and more stuff that you have to do every year because somebody does something stupid at some air show.
So you're paying for someone else's stupidity, yes.
So it's changed a lot since 1992 when I did the first air show. And it will evolve more and more as people do dumb stuff, which they usually do.
Yes.
And there was an old pilot, Harold Johnson, who passed away and did the very first air show. And when we have the pilots meeting, the last thing that was said at the pilots meeting came from Harold. Don't do anything stupid.
Seems simple, doesn't it?
And everybody's kind of abided by that since then.
We're glad.
Yeah, and I am too.
That's a good thing.
So, and the pilots have a good time, and the crowd loves the pilots. And I have to say one thing about our air show. It's not like the Dayton Air Show or the Rickenbacker Air Show in Columbus. They have all these high-powered jets and all of that. We are a barnstorming air show.
Mm-hmm.
These guys that perform at the Vinton County Air Show are what you call barnstormers. After World War I and World War II, all of these pilots that flew in the war wanted to continue to fly, so they would go out and put on these little air shows.
Right. Just because it was fun.
It was fun. And if you were a military veteran and you were in the Army Air Corps, once you got discharged, you could go to Arizona and buy an airplane from the government because they had all these surplus airplanes.
Yeah. No war equals all airplanes.
And I had a dear friend who passed away, Von Barbie, who bought a T6 and paid $28 for it. This was back.
I don't know that I'd be getting into a $28 airplane and flying
it. He was a veteran and he flew during World War II.
Yes.
And he wanted an airplane and he was a pilot and
$28.
Paid $28. Oh and when he went to Arizona to pick up the airplane, the guy that was in charge of the boneyard, he said, go through all the airplanes and turn the master switch on and take the plane that has the most fuel.
Hey, that was very courteous.
That was good advice.
Yes,
good advice. So, in fact, Von Barbie, our service award that we give to one of the members every year or somebody that's helped every year is the Von Barbie Service Award because Von was a big, big supporter of the Vinton County Air Show. And we had another guy, Tom Wilkinson, who passed away in January, who practically lived at the Vinton County Airport and loved the air show. This is a memorial show to Tom Wilkinson.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And he just loved the airport. I mean, he'd mow grass up there. He had, at one time, 5 different airplanes.
Oh, my.
I mean, he loved aviation. But he has since passed, and we truly miss Tom. And so we're kind of honoring him with the Memorial Air Show this year.
I'd say that's quite appropriate.
Yes. And, the acts, we have 2 new acts this year, 2 new pilots, 2 new airplanes that are going to perform. One of them is Nick Coleman, and he's from Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and he flies a clipped wing Taylorcraft, which is basically a huge paper airplane with a 500 horsepower engine in it.
That sounds terrifying. What is he thinking?
But he does a great show, and it's going to be his first appearance at the Vinton County Airport. And then we have another guy. His name is Charlie Morris, and he's going to be flying a decathlon. And I have never seen either one of these shows live, but I've seen them on the internet.
Sure.
And they're great barnstormers. Trust me, you'll really enjoy their show. And then we have 2 returning pilots this year. We have Brett, the bounty hunter, who will be there, and he will be
Brett, the bounty hunter.
Yep. And Brett Hunter, and Brett he is actually a world-class acrobatic pilot. I mean, he's performed all over.
Now that's scary stuff too.
Yeah.
But cool.
But he's going to perform in an RV-4. No, I'm sorry, RV-6. I take that back. And he puts on a fantastic show. And then we have a staple, Emerson, the low-level devil, Stewart from Red Stewart Field over in Waynesville, Ohio, who will be there performing. And he does a fantastic job. And he is what you call a classic barnstorm pilot. I mean, he's the 3rd generation barnstormer. His grandfather built the Red Stewart Field over in Waynesville, and they had their air show 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And we went over for that to help them out, and it was a nice little air show. And of course, Emerson performed there, and he will be at the Vinton County Air Show. And then there's some old favorites that will be there, and it wouldn't be an air show without the Screaming Chicken skydiving team.
No.
You know, you got to have those guys open and close the show.
Yep. Is that them?
Yeah, that's the Screaming Chicken skydiving team. And the big American flag is always deployed.
Super cool.
And those guys jump every year. Bob Church has jumped at every one of the air shows. So
wow,
this will be his 52nd air show that he's jumped.
Holy moly.
And he's a great guy. Bob, he's retired now, and he is also Santa Claus when it comes to the candy drop.
Aha.
There's Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
And that's another staple of the air show.
Yes.
Nobody has the candy drop except for the Vinton County Air Show. I don't care where you go, you never see the candy drop. And for you folks that haven't been to the air show, Santa Claus skydives in, and we line up all of the kids on a hold line there, and Santa Claus comes in, talks to the kids. The plane goes around, and it dumps candy onto the runway. And, of course, we pepper it because it's tough to get 300 pounds of candy on the ground. But the first 5-gallon bucket comes out of the airplane, and then we pepper it. And Santa Claus gives everybody a pep talk about being good and all of that for Christmas.
Well, he still has some time right now.
Yeah. So, he brings his flying elves down, and we do the candy drop. So we line them all up, we turn them loose, and they run out on the runway to pick up all of the candy. Now, the FAA gets a little uptight about that.
I was going to ask you about that.
But we've worked that out with them because they want to know where the airplane goes and all that. Well, we say, hey, they go over and circle over Lake Hope until all the candy is picked up, all the kids are off the runway, and the runway is then inspected to see if there's any candy left. Well, ever since we've been doing this, there's never been any candy left on the runway.
Anyone been around children with candy? Like, you don't have to worry about there being candy left on the runway. It's not going to happen.
It's all going. And, of course, now the little fellows, they don't run as fast as the bigger kids.
Yeah, there's lots of elbows going.
So we have several elves out there with buckets of candy. When the little guys get there, they reach in and get a handful of candy. So everybody gets a little bit of candy off the runway or out of a bucket. So
that's great.
But it's great. The candy drop is, infamous when it comes to air shows, and we love putting it on. And our hat is off to the MacArthur area Eagles because they sponsor the candy drop.
Uh-huh.
And
candy's expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah, if $500 worth of candy, you look at it and say, that's $500 worth of candy. Yeah. So we want to thank the MacArthur area Eagles for donating the funds for the candy drop. And they are the folks that barbecue the chicken.
Exactly.
And if it wasn't for them, there wouldn't be a chicken barbecue.
Oh, look at that. Who doesn't want that?
Yep. And the chicken is absolutely delicious. Andy Adelman makes the barbecue sauce we put on there. I mean, we don't buy the barbecue sauce. Andy makes it up. And
with love.
Oh, yes, with tender loving care. And we coat the chicken with that. So the chicken is, I don't know which is more well known, the air show or the barbecue chicken.
Well, I would go 50-50
yeah,
on that.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good.
So what all comes with the chicken dinner?
Well, you get chicken, potato salad, baked beans, and a roll.
Uh-huh.
And it's going to be $13 per dinner. And that's a half a chicken. Now, if you go to a local restaurant,
oh my,
you're going to pay somewhere between $15 and $20 for a half a chicken.
For sure.
So
and not get all those sides.
Yeah.
Too.
So we're trying to keep the cost down, and it's tough to do. Next year we're going to have to raise the price, but this year it's $13 a dinner. So
that's a good deal, folks.
And I will say this: that a dinner will feed 2 normal adults. Now, if you're a big heavy eater, it may not fill you up, but if you kind of pick and choose, you can feed 2 people off of that dinner.
There you go.
So it's a delicious chicken dinner, and the Eagles do a great job in preparing it. So come for the chicken dinner or the air show, either one.
Or both.
Or both, yeah. So it's a lot of fun. And of course, some of the side things that go on at the show, well, they're not really side things, events during the show, the flying lawnmower. Roger Barnes, people are actually amazed to see. Yeah, there it is.
Up every time I see it.
We had that. Yeah, last year. It's amazing to see a flying lawnmower, and it just is something that.
How does that even work?
Well, it's an airplane that looks like a lawnmower. I mean, it's very unique.
Very not aerodynamic. But the fact that it can like twirl and do all the things, like it's like crazy.
Yeah.
So I assume that's obviously remote control.
Oh,
right?
yes. It is a remote, what they call an RC, radio controlled aircraft.
Look at it do it.
A loop.
So funny.
That's unique when it comes to radio controlled flying devices. The flying lawnmower, everybody has to at least see it once in a lifetime because it's just so unique. And then we have another guy that flies a really, really neat radio-controlled aircraft, and that's Terry Nitch, and he's from the Columbus area, and he flies a radio-controlled jet. Now, this is not one of the little electric turbine fans. This is an actual jet engine-propelled radio-controlled aircraft.
Holy moly.
And when he makes his first pass down the runway, Terry's little jet plane is doing about 200 miles an hour.
What?
Yeah. I mean, this thing screams. And you can see up in the upper right-hand corner on your TV.
That it?
That's Terry Nitch and the radio-controlled jet. And it just screams. And on the left-hand side, you see Mark Ratcliffe with the 8th scale Pitts. And he is a world champion radio-controlled acrobatic flyer. He has won awards in the United States, in Europe. He knows how to fly radio-controlled aircraft, and we're very, very fortunate to have him perform at the air show. So the radio-controlled aircraft are something just to see on their own.
I was going to say, I mean, and these guys make it look so easy.
Yeah, but just think how many little airplanes they've crashed doing.
Well, we're not going to talk about that. But yeah, no, I mean, they do. They just make it look so easy. And you're just like, I could do that.
Yeah. And it's tougher than it looks, that's for sure. And all these guys just enjoy coming out and performing at the air show. They don't make a living at it. They do it because they enjoy flying little aircraft radio-controlled aircraft, a place to show off and have a good time.
Sure.
So that's the reason they come. And they like the chicken dinner, too.
I mean, that's a good bribe.
Yeah, you got a free chicken dinner and gas home.
Right. No, that is super cool. And there's so much talent. And here's the deal. Technically, the air show is free.
Yes. We ask for a $10 parking donation when you come in. We don't charge admission. If you go to the Columbus Air Show at Rickenbacker or the Dayton Air Show, you're going to pay out
You're
some
gonna
hefty.
pay.
You're going to pay hefty, and you're going to pay $25 to park your car.
Yes.
And you can't park unless but we ask for a $10 parking donation.
And you're not getting a $13 chicken dinner either. I promise you that.
Yeah. Well, a young man that helps out at the airport, R.J. Camp, went to the Rickenbacker Air Show, and he said, I can't believe it. He says, I got a hamburger, a Coke, and some fries, and it cost me $20.
Yeah, exactly.
And I said, well, it's big city.
Yeah.
We're a barnstorming air show. We don't do that. So it's a family affair.
And that's what was going to be my next thing is the fact that, you have a candy drop, like bring the kids.
Yes.
This is for everybody.
Everybody, young and old alike. We have a handicapped parking area. Before I came in, I got a call from a lady says, my mother wants to come up and watch the air show. She's never been to the air show, but she's handicapped. I said, oh, we have a handicapped parking area.
No problem.
And she said, well, can she sit in her wheelchair and watch the air show? I said, yeah, just don't pull up to the caution tape. Just get her wheelchair out in front of the caution tape, behind the caution tape line, and she can sit there and watch the air show.
Sure.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
So, it's something for everybody and every age.
And that's so important. In today's world, it's hard to find something like that.
Yeah.
Where the whole family can go. Everyone is going to have a blast.
Yep.
Everybody. And it's free.
Yes. Yep.
Just got to pay to park. You can get a lot of family members in one car, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just, not that I'm trying to take money from you, but I'm just saying, folks.
Yeah, well, we've
You
had
can pile a lot of people in a car.
van loads of people show up. And one thing that we need to tell everybody that at 1:00 we have to close Airport Road. And this is very important. So listen up, folks. At 1:00, Airport Road West is closed, and that's off of Route 93. We have to do that. That's an FAA mandate because you have to be 300 feet from the edge of the runway while the show is going on.
Makes sense.
Airport Road is only 180 feet from the edge of the runway. So we have to close it down at 1:00. So if you're coming after 1, you need to take Route 93 north out of MacArthur. You go to State Route 328, and you get on 328, and it's 3 miles to Airport Road East. You turn on Airport Road East, and that will bring you up to the parking area.
Okay.
To where you can park your car and go see the air show.
Will there be signs there?
Yes.
Pointing people in the right direction? Okay.
Yep. There will be signs that say parking, but you have to get to Airport Road East off of 328 off of Route 93. So once again, the directions are 93 north out of MacArthur, 328 to Airport Road, and then you go up the hill on Airport Road to the parking area.
Okay. So you can still get in once the road closes. It's just not the normal way you would go.
Right, not the normal way, but that's the way you have to go. And there's not much we can do about it because it's a mandate, and it's a safety mandate.
Well, and back to us being safe and not doing something stupid.
Right.
We'll close the road down.
That's true. That's true. So, we want to thank all of the people that are coming out to help us. We've had volunteers. Like I said, the high school football team, the 4-H clubs, the advisors, and the 4-Hers. And we have several volunteers that said, what can I do to help out?
Sure.
And, if it wasn't for the volunteer help, we couldn't put the air show on. So my hat is off to all those folks that volunteer.
Because let's just be honest, the air show was in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have, enough volunteers.
Yep. So we're over that hump, and
Yay.
We're really excited about this year's show. So I urge you to come out and enjoy a great family day, not just an afternoon, but a day.
Right.
So, the show starts at 1:00. It's all according to how well it flows. We should be done 4:30, 5:00 with the actual show. We close the runway at 1:00 and the waivered airspace, and that's is from 1 to 6. So if we do run over, we've got plenty of time to get all the acts in and the candy drop and the skydivers and all of that. So, it's a great 4 or 5 hours of entertainment. Most air shows you go to, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. 2 hours later, it's over. Not at the Vinton County Air Show.
That's exactly right. And such a just large variety of different things to see. Yep. I mean, there's a flying lawnmower, for the love of God.
And a flying jet.
Remote-controlled jet.
Yep. And general aviation aircraft, skydivers. Oh, and we forgot the Vinton County High School Marching Band.
What?
Yeah. They come up.
There's going to be a band.
Yeah. When we do the opening of the show, the high school band does the national anthem, and the skydiver comes in. But we want to thank the Vinton County Marching Band, high school marching band, because here again, that's kind of been a tradition at the air show.
Absolutely.
And the air show is a big fundraiser for them because they sell all the soft drinks and the desserts.
Uh-huh.
So after you get your chicken, if you're still hungry, you can go to the band boosters and get some dessert.
Makes sense.
Popcorn. They do a great job of helping us out. So we appreciate the high school marching band and the parents and the band members for coming up and helping us out also.
Absolutely. So that's a big deal as well, and help support those kids because, that's how they raise money to do what they do. So one question, do you have somebody offering plane rides?
Yes, we will have some plane rides, but we're going to have to limit them this year. We're hoping to have 2 planes fly rides, and that's kind of still up in the air. We know we're going to have 1 plane for sure rides after the show, and there will be a limited amount of rides. We're waiting on confirmation from another pilot who has sufficient time to fly passengers. I mean, even though this is they don't make any money off of it, so you don't have to be a commercial pilot. But the hooker is the FAA requires anybody doing donation rides have logged 500 flight hours.
Okay.
That's a lot of flight hours.
That's a lot, yeah.
So here again, that's a safety thing.
Yeah.
So back when I first started, they never, well, you got a pilot's license.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Can't do that anymore. So now the FAA requirement is 500 flight hours before you can take donation rides up. Okay. And those guys don't get paid anything for doing that because it's a free gratis thing.
Gotcha.
So, we're planning on having airplane rides, but I don't know how many we're going to be able to sell.
Okay.
Years ago when we had 3 or 4 planes flying, we could accommodate 80, 90 people. Sure. We may not be able to accommodate that many this year. So
get there early and
buy a plane ride ticket.
So, all right, let's talk about when's a good time for everybody to show up? Is there a line to get in? Like, when would you suggest people arrive and all of that?
If I was coming to the air show, I would try to be there sometime, no later than noon. I mean, you try to get there at noon before. Number one, you get the best parking.
Yeah.
You get the best seating because it gets cramped. And this year we'll have some lawn space across Airport Road because last year it was really, really packed.
Okay.
And people were crammed in. So we're going to fence off a yard to where people can go across Airport Road to watch the show. So if you want to get up near the fence and watch the show from there, you need to get there around 10 o'clock. I mean,
get there early.
Get there earlier to get the best vantage point if you want to see the aircraft on the ground, taxiing out and all that. If you're just interested in watching them fly and doing their acrobatic routines and getting a chicken dinner, be there by 12, or 12:30, because once again, the show actually starts at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
So you need to be in place for that. So that's what we recommend.
Plus, it's easier to get in that way. You don't have to go the back way in because the road isn't closed, early in the morning. So yeah, get there early. Just chill out.
Yeah.
It's going to be a beautiful day.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's,
You lucked out with weather this year, it seems like.
We only had one show where we actually got rained on.
Okay.
And
that's pretty good odds in 50 some years.
Yeah. So one show, it actually rained and we couldn't get the axe in the air. And but we still sold the chicken. People came up, oh, that's all right. I came for the chicken anyway.
I just came for the chicken.
So we've had one year where it was a rain out, but we still had the show. And then 9/11, we couldn't. It was we had the show at 9/11, but we couldn't fly the big aircraft, but we could fly the ultralights and the radio controlled aircraft, which we did. And of course, the devastating year of COVID, we didn't have a show at all because we couldn't do it because it was against the law.
We weren't allowed.
Yeah. So, rain or shine, there's going to be chicken.
If all else fails, there will be chicken.
Yes.
Oh, I was thinking about something. Now, you mentioned if you get there early, people can see the planes. Now, can you get kind of close? Like, can you take the kids and say, this is what a plane looks like on the inside and all of that? We
will have a special area for what we call show day aircraft that come in, and we're going to have, we hope they're going to show up in Lancaster, Ohio. There is a little military flight museum up there. Okay. And they're going to bring 3 small warbirds if everything goes well, and they will be in the display area. Cool. We are hoping to have a lake amphibian that will be in the show area. And there's several other aircraft that fly in. If it's an unusual aircraft, when they fly in, we say, can we put you in the display area? Yeah. I say, oh, yeah. And so we taxi them down and we put them in the display area. You'll be able to walk around those airplanes and have a look at them.
How fun.
And the planes that actually fly in the show, before the show, up until about 12:30, you can actually go out on the tarmac and have a look at the planes that will be doing the show. So, yeah, you can get up close and personal to the aircraft that the Vinton County Air Show, where at other air shows you can't.
No.
But you can do that at the Vinton County Air Show.
That is, I just think that's such a great, personal touch that when you can get up and actually see these things up close. And I can't imagine that there's a kid out there that wouldn't, or a kid at heart, that wouldn't love to see those airplanes up close.
Yep. And, a lot of people just, are amazed at the variety of aircraft that show up for the show. We'll have somewhere between 30 and 60 airplanes that fly in for the show.
So that was going to be another question I asked. Is it, if you're a pilot and you say, hey, I love this air show. Yep. I'm just going to fly in.
Yeah, you can do that. You need to be at the Vinton County Air Show early.
Obviously want to do that before the air show starts.
Well, you can't because we put big X's at both ends of the runway and post what they call a NOTAM to where you can't fly in between 1 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Their runways will be closed because of the air show. So, that's another safety precaution.
Sure.
So, but the aircraft that fly in, we recommend that you get there early because after about 12:30, we discourage people from landing because the guys are putting the X's out on the runway and all of that. But if you want to fly in, you can fly in and they'll spot your plane next to the runway and you can walk down and get on the spectator side of the fence and the caution ribbon and watch the air show from there.
And get some chicken.
And it is good chicken. I will say that. It's the best you've ever had.
And is there a secret to the chicken? Is it just love?
Well, the love and Andy Adelman, because Andy makes the sauce that goes on the chicken, and I'm not going to divulge his secret.
We won't tell Andy. Don't worry.
Like Andy was there. I think I said earlier he was there at the very first air show, and he's going to be there for the 52nd air show. So a lot of dead chickens have passed his way over the years.
Oh man, but boy, are they good!
Yeah, they are good. They are good. That's for sure. But like we said, it's a family affair, and bring the family, enjoy the show. And it's late enough in the day to where you can go to church on Sunday morning and get to the air show.
There you go. So you can kind of get the day going.
Yep.
So, all right. So Dylan, speaking of, let's pull up the weather and look at that real quick while we're talking about the air show, and look at that. It's looking not too shabby. Now Sunday, a little bit of chance of rain popped in there, but the temperatures are just fantastic. I mean, all the way through Tuesday. Check that out.
Yep.
Next Tuesday. So it will not rain on the air show. I have good faith.
Yeah. I went to church Sunday and asked the big guy upstairs to hold off. So
yes.
Hopefully the big pilot in the sky. I think he will help us out again this year.
The sky, thank you, Dylan, for that. The big pilot in the sky. Huh.
So Rick asked, "Are you allowed to bring your own lawn chairs?"
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah. Bring your own. Because at air show, there's very little seating at any air show.
Or bring a blanket for the family or whatever
set
you
on.
want to.
Chairs, blankets are welcome. So that's a good idea to do.
Yeah, definitely. Bring your comfy chair. Do your neck exercises because they're going to be like this for a while.
Yep. That's for sure. That is for sure.
Yeah. Stretch out a little bit before you go. Very good. So I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you have a favorite act at the air show?
Geez, that's tough. They're all my favorites, but I will say this, and I'm not going to comment. When we have the pilot's briefing at the air show, all of the pilots will say, "I'm not following the lawnmower."
Gotcha. Please do not put me after the lawnmower.
So this year, in order to make all of the pilots happy, we're going to have the flying lawnmower. Then Santa Claus is going to skydive in, and then the candy drop, so nobody has to follow the lawnmower.
I think that's a fantastic idea, because the only one that could follow the lawnmower is Santa.
Santa Claus, you betcha.
And yes, please do bring the kids up. It is truly a family affair, and they are going to love it.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
100%.
So it's, once again, it's going to be Sunday.
This Sunday, coming up.
1:00 until, the show is usually over somewhere between 4:30, 5:00, but we waiver the airspace until 6 in case it runs over. So that's kind of important. And remember, after 1:00, you can't come up Airport Road West. You have to go 328 to Airport Road East and then up to the parking area.
Okay, very good. So, but we suggest that you just get there before then anyway.
Yeah.
So, but if you are running a bit late, you can still get there. Just follow the signs. And all of that. All right. Was there anything else you wanted to tell our viewers while you're here?
I think we've covered it all pretty well.
Okay. How's life treating you? You good?
Great for a beat up old guy.
Okay. You're crazy.
So, but like I said, I'm just an old pilot, not a bold pilot.
So you're not going to be up doing some acrobatics.
Not anymore.
Well, very good. Well, Nick, thank you so much for stopping by today. It's always a pleasure to have you here.
It's always fun.
Your enthusiasm is infectious.
Well, I hope it is, and I hope you all come.
Yes. Come out, Vinton County Air Show this coming Sunday, starting at 1. Get there before then, and get the chicken dinner.
Yes. Yes.
Very good. Well, thank you for stopping by.
Well, thank you,
appreciate
Jennifer.
you.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to see you.
Yes. Take care.
You too. All right. Well, Dylan, you going to come over and hang out with me? Come on over, buddy. Sure. We're going to interview Dylan about his first weeks in college because our sweet Dylan is all grown up.
I guess you could say that, sort of.
Okay, well,
we
got you graduated anyway from high school.
Yeah, I'm technically old enough to be considered sort of kind of an adult.
Does that freak you out a little bit?
Honestly, yeah. Like, just thinking about, like, in high school, like, if you make a mistake, it's like you go to the principal's office. In real life, if you make a mistake, you don't just see the principal.
You like, go to jail.
Yeah.
Don't mess up.
Yeah,
that's a whole different situation. But no, so you have started kind of your college career, and how's that going? Is it like what you thought it would be? Is it different?
It's kind of what I expected, but it's like, I don't know, like there's so much freedom that you get when you go to college. Like, you're allowed to do like pretty much anything. I mean, I saw someone get up while the professor was talking, walk out, and then walk back in, and they get on their phone and then walk out and walk back in. Now, I feel like I'm not supposed to do that, but I mean, you're allowed. There's nothing stopping you.
Yeah, that might just be kind of like rude.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and I get what you're saying. So here's the problem with college. And I always say college is like 50% education and 50% like learning who you are and learning how to adult
and such.
Yeah. So, but you can hang yourself pretty quick too, because you do have time and you have like freedom and whatever. So you just got to be like, that's where you have to have that structure within yourself to do everything.
Because like the professors, they teach you and they talk and all, but like you're supposed to like follow it yourself. Like, you don't do assignments in class. That's something I've noticed. It's all after class. Yeah. Which is kind of annoying, but that's the way it works. It's like, your own structure, your own rules you have to follow, and if you don't get it done, then you're the one that pays, not the professor.
100%.
I mean, they're there to help you, but they don't really. I mean, they care.
They're not there to babysit you.
Yeah, they're not your like. They don't like walk you through it. They just kind of tell you how to do it, and then you're on your own.
Yeah, and that's part of. I think I think that's a big change when kids go to college, is that it's like you are responsible for yourself. And like mom and dad aren't there to tell you what to do. Your teachers aren't going to tell you what to do. Like, you either do it or don't do it. And that's all on you.
And one thing I've noticed about college, like, it seems like everyone kind of belongs to a certain organization or club or group, because like they encourage it. Like, they want you to not just go to school. They want you to like join a program of some kind.
Well, and that just helps you number one, meet people, but just get more well-rounded and learn about the world,
Yeah.
The cool thing about Rio is, of course, you have like, the kids from Wales and all of that stuff. So you get like that kind of worldly experience too. You can chat with them and find out what's going on and all of that. So it's pretty cool.
I guess it's actually pretty common, like exchange students going to Rio. I didn't know about that, but the professor was talking about it. My statistics professor, my 2-hour-long statistics class.
2-hour-long class. Dude, I'm just going to tell you, if one has to sit through statistics for 2 hours, ugh.
I haven't even made it to the statistics part yet. I'm on probability.
Oh, God. That just sounds horrible.
It is. But she was talking about, like, there's a lot of different exchange students that come to Rio, and she said, I'm never going to point you out for it, but I am going to ask you to talk to me because I love hearing your accents.
I just think it's cool to just kind of like learn about, other people and their cultures and, all that stuff too.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that I've been like learning about Rio, just kind of learning my way around the campus, navigating. I learned that there is a buffet that they offer in the lunchroom, which is kind of awesome. Like, just, they have the food laid out for you, just, like a normal buffet, like Ponderosa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was excited about it, and then I got there, and it was gone. So the next day I came rushing in, and it was gone. And the next day it was gone, and then I found out it ends at like 12 or something, like 1 or 12.
So you need
And
to
I don't get there
a little
until 2
earlier.
or 3. So I was like, it's just impossible for me to get the buffet. I just get to do kitchen orders.
Such a bummer.
Yeah, but I guess I get like anything I want. Like, I can get a double cheeseburger. Like, there's a cheeseburger, but you can request for it to be a double, and you can get like 5 of them. So I'm psyched.
Only Dylan like talks about food, and if I ask him about college, he talks about food.
I mean, hey, it's double cheeseburgers.
Wait until you eat the cafeteria double cheeseburger. Decide whether or not you want 5.
Oh, I did eat it. I ate 2 of them.
Oh God,
it was great.
Okay.
But I mean, normally I wouldn't do that, but I had just finished packing out a bunch of old tech stuff, and like the shoutcasting room they're giving me for commentary and like the esports coverage and podcasting, I had to clean it out with Corbin. So me and him went through packing out all of this old tech, and I swear it was so old. I didn't know what half of it was.
It's probably the stuff we use, James.
Yeah, it was so old. It was from 2008.
Yeah, right.
No, this stuff was older than that. I mean, there was a whole case full, like this big, of just floppy disks.
Nice.
Yeah, and there was like old computers.
I got a USB floppy disk reader if you want to see what's on those bad boys.
I was gonna say that would actually be kind of.
We could do that.
That
That'd
would be
cool.
kind of fun to like look through and see what's on those things.
Probably a bunch of old documents you can't open.
Probably.
But there was also like this really like when I say box TV, you're probably thinking of the normal box TVs, but this was older than that. Like one that I swear, like it was like the first one to have color. Like it was like this. It was small, and I don't know how to describe it. It was just a really small box TV that had like, it was like brown wood on it. Like it wasn't gray or anything.
There was a time in history, Dylan, called the 70s.
Yeah.
When literally everything was wood panel. Your TV was wood panel.
Yeah.
Your radio was wood panel. Your car was wood panel.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Just wood panel everything.
It was just everywhere.
Yeah, that's what this
every
TV
wall
was.
in your house was wood panel.
Yes, and and the TV's like actually, there's like the screen was in this like big honking chunky wood case thing.
The only way I can describe that stuff is like older than you would think. Like this isn't from like early 2000s. This is like 80s.
If it was wooden,
it was earlier than that, buddy.
But there was also somebody's award I found. It was an award of excellence.
Oh.
Yeah, it was in an envelope, and I don't remember what it said, but it was something like, make sure to give this to him or something, and they never gave it to him.
Aw. You should put it on Facebook. See if you can find that
I bet they got a lot of awards that were supposed to be for me hanging around at Rio that they just forgot to give me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So keep an eye out for all the awards they forgot to give me.
Anything that says James K. Hamilton on it.
Yeah, I should have just brought it in here now I think about it. Just come on like over here and just be like, hey, is this anybody's?
Does anyone know this person? I mean, it's a pretty small community. We probably do. No, Rio is it's such a lovely campus there, and it's a really cool little community, and I'm glad that you're there.
Yeah, I've had fun so far. Just I don't like the statistics homework. That's rough.
So, like, what is statistics? What do you have to do?
So far, we're just in the probability section, and I guess that's the hardest part because she said she wanted to start us on it and get it out of the way because everyone hates it and no one's that good at it. So it's like, let's just get probability done. I'll teach you how to do it. Then we'll move on to the easy stuff.
So what do you do? Like, what is like a problem in probability?
Yeah, so it'd be like for example, like, James has 4 cameras. And 3 of those cameras have, like a super powerful SD, and 1 of them doesn't, but 2 of them are like in between that. So what are the probability that he'll pick one of those cameras for filming today? Then you'd have to go and do so since they're all the same cameras, that would be considered, I think, the C. I don't know what it stands for, but the C or the P. So this would be the C. And then it would be like
this
3
sounds horrible.
C, 2, and then you'd have to like times that by 4. Like It's rough. I'm going for tutoring today to figure that out a little more.
Yeah.
I'll explain it to you once I understand it myself.
Yeah. I get it.
Still working on it.
Oh man, no thank you.
Yeah.
I'm starting to have anxiety about thinking about having to go back to school.
Yeah. And some of the probabilities questions are easy. It's like, so like there's 19 flowers and you want to pick the right, like half of them are red, half of them are yellow. You want to pick the red one. What is the probability? So if there's like, what I say, 16, let's go with that. It'd be 8 out of 16.
Yeah.
So that's not that bad at all.
Yeah. That'd be like 50%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they complicate it and throw in all kinds of variables that don't make sense.
Heard. Okay.
I mean, I guess it does make sense if you learn it.
If you know what you're doing, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense to somebody.
But for me, I went my entire senior year without a math class.
Mm.
I was afraid it would lower my GPA instead of raise it.
So you're out of practice a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a year for me. So just the basic stuff I haven't done in a while.
All right, so let's do some confession here. Have you had another speech in your speech class?
No, but I'm writing one right now, and instead of 2 minutes, it's 5 minutes.
Okay, are you going to practice it here?
I can if you guys want me to.
Okay. James, I think we should make him practice his speech here.
I agree. Let's hear it right now.
Oh, I don't have it written yet.
Nope, right now. Off the cuff. 5 minutes.
What is
5
the
straight
speech?
minutes.
Yep,
you got 7. You got 2 minutes to
7.
fumble, and you got 5 to speech.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
What is the topic of this speech?
It's an artifact speech, so I have to pick one thing that if someone found years from now, it would be considered like it could describe me. So I got to write about that. Like, how would it describe me? Like, let someone understand this is
That's
why it
deep.
describes me.
Is the artifact a Rick and Morty t-shirt?
No, I could have gone with that. I went with the camera.
Rick and Morty t-shirt would have been great. And then you could have said Mr. Poopy Butthole.
They did say it could be a t-shirt, and they even used a t-shirt as an example, and that never once crossed my mind.
Just think how fun that would have been. You could have said all the bad words.
Wubba lubba dub dub.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I could have said that.
Your speech would have been hilarious.
Yeah, it would have
Can
been
you
pretty
change your
funny if I
topic?
went up there and just talked about Rick and Morty for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I could change my topic, but I've already got like part of it written.
Oh. I mean, who's not going to love a speech when someone says, what did you say? Wubba
lubba dub dub.
lubba dub dub.
Yeah, I could just go up there
And
and
poopy butthole.
just talk all Rick and Morty stuff. Just go up and be like, all right, so I picked this shirt. It's Rick and Morty. So, and then just go from like episode 1 all the way to the just completely brief everyone on everything Rick and Morty.
Be like, I wore a Rick and Morty t-shirt every day my senior year.
Yeah, and by the end, everybody would be like asleep.
I don't know. I mean, I'd probably be interested in that.
Would you listen to me talk about Rick and Morty for 5 minutes?
I do every day. It's just become part of our daily banter here.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh my gosh. So, all right. So you have speech and statistics. What else do you have?
Humanities.
And what is that?
So this one's kind of confusing to me. I mean, I understand it, and it's probably my easiest class, but it's not one specific like thing in history. It's like everything. So we go from like Egyptians to Romans to like early Americans, like just everything. And I guess the goal of the class is to get you to like better understand like before like we knew everything as it is.
Mm-hmm. So
like going back to like King Tut all the way up to like early Britain.
Like how humans lived way back when and whatnot. Well, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. One thing I thought was interesting, I heard about it, and I think I remember like hearing about it when I was in elementary, but there was this one older Roman city, and it wasn't like just a city, like, you know, a city. It was like a party place, I guess. Like they went there just to have fun, like a clubhouse kind of deal. I didn't know about that part till he explained it. But like,
did they wear togas there?
They might have. But like a volcano erupted and all the ash went on it, and then they excavated it years later, and all the paintings were still intact.
Oh.
Pompeii?
I'm not sure if that was it.
Yeah, I think that's what you're talking about.
I didn't know it was Roman though. I heard about it, but I didn't know that it was like one of the Roman cities and not like a
That's what we should do.
largely populated city.
Make Jackson the next Pompeii.
No, let's not do that.
Minus the volcano.
The volcano is kind of the whole thing.
Yeah. It's kind of...
It's kind of why people remember it.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I'm not sure if it was Pompeii, because wasn't Pompeii like a largely populated city, like it had people in it, like they lived there.
Yeah.
This one they were talking about, I mean, it could be Pompeii, maybe I just heard him wrong, but I think I remember him saying that it was more of like just like a fun city, like it wasn't, I don't know how to explain it, like a party house kind of thing.
I don't know how much they partied in Pompeii.
None after the volcano.
Yeah, none after the volcano. Yeah.
Oh, James, fill us in on the capture of the dude. Since we were talking about it yesterday, the guy in Pennsylvania that had escaped from the prison. He'd been on the lam for what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks. Let me see if I can find the article again real quick.
And, because this is that is breaking, because this morning on the news, they were still talking about looking for him.
Yeah. I heard him talking about it on the radio too.
After eluding a manhunt for some 2 weeks, convicted murderer D'Angelo how do you say his last name? Calacanti has been captured. The Pennsylvania State Police announced Wednesday morning. The police agency didn't provide immediate details. A news conference was scheduled for 9:30, which may or may not have happened now.
Yeah.
It doesn't say so in this article. So since he escaped on August 31st, encounters with the armed and dangerous man repeatedly raised alarms as he stole a vehicle, a weapon, and other items while on the run from authorities.
Yeah,
he was spotted on multiple homes' doorbell cameras. So
yeah, he because I was wondering how because they were talking about he attained a gun, a 22, I guess rifle or something. But they were saying this morning that he stole it out of some guy's garage, and the dude saw him doing it and came out with a gun and shot at him and stuff, but he missed him. So I'm like, wow, you picked the wrong dude's garage.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, so he's been captured and all's well with the world except for the guard that got fired because he escaped right under his nose.
Yeah. I'm still wondering how tall those walls were. Like, seriously, how far did he do that? Like, so much upper body strength had to go into that.
Crab walked all the way up those walls.
Yeah, and if those were large walls, if they were really high up, then that's just shocking.
Yeah, because you kind of lose him quick in the video.
Man, that's some dedication.
It is. Especially after you get up so high, because if you fall, you're toast.
Yeah.
You fall right on your face.
Got to keep going. There's no looking back.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. Well, we do need to get out of here for the day. Thanks for hanging with me. And it's always good to talk to you and find out what's going on in your college career. We can live vicariously through you. Right, James?
Sure.
Yeah. We'll teach you how to party here in a little bit.
All right.
All right. Well, have a great day. Thanks to Nick and for stopping in and telling us about the Vinton County Air Show, which is coming up this coming Sunday. Don't forget about that. It's always a wonderful time. And we will be back here tomorrow. So have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.